I trust all is well with you. My name is Rich Jarvie, and I get the privilege of bringing to you the spiritual discipline challenge this week, and it happens to be on quiet time, one of my favorite subjects. I love quiet times. And to me, quiet time is spending time with someone you know and who loves you and knows more about you than you know about yourself. In this case, it's God. Uh, and to me, quiet time is a relationship with Him. So let's talk a little bit about that relationship. Well, first, though, I want to talk to you, I want to bring into a small historical perspective. Well, quote maybe from, what is it, a 16th century theologian and a 17th century philosopher. Yeah, you guessed it. You probably know who they are already, Calvin and Hobbes. I'll read it because it's a little bit blurry, but you'll get the idea. Let's try this path over here. I don't see a path. We'll make a path. Oh boy. Change is invigorating. If you don't accept new challenges, you become complacent and lazy. Your life atrophies. New experiences lead to new questions and new solutions. Change forces us to experiment and adapt. That's how we learn and grow. Whoops. Well, here's a fresh challenge. I'll admit, it's opened up new horizons. The problem with new experiences is that they're so rarely the ones you choose. I feel smarter already. It's pretty old, but I still love Calvin and Hobbes. One of the things I like about that little cartoon is the fact that they're talking about new horizons. To me, a quiet time is every day is a new horizon, a new challenge every day. And I get to look at that new horizon. I get to learn from it. And so let's see what we can learn from the word about quiet times. I want to take a look at Luke 10:38 through 42. It's a story of Mary and Martha and their relationship with Jesus. So if you have your Bibles there, I'll give you a little my historical perspective on it. Mary and Martha are sitting in their house, and there's a commotion out in the street, and Martha or Mary looks out and says, "Oh, it's Jesus coming," and they're okay with that. And then a couple of minutes later, they hear a little bit more noise, and Mary looks out again. She says, "Oh, he's got the 12 disciples with him." And Martha, immediately thinks, "Oh man, I've got to fix dinner for 12." And then a few seconds later, Mary sticks her head out one more time and says, "Oh no, I was wrong. It's the 70." And of course, Martha just goes bananas. She can't go down to the local KFC and get another bucket of chicken. So she's on the spot trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to figure out how to get all these people fed? I've got to get neighbors and all that kind of stuff. So she's scurrying around. Okay, so that's my take on it. But anyway, so Jesus gets there and he comes in. And in Luke 10:38 through 42, we read, as they went on their way, he entered a village, and a woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. But Martha was distracted with much serving, and she went to him and said, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things. One thing is needful. Mary has chosen a good portion, which shall not be taken away from her." So what was Mary doing? Or what was Martha doing? I mean, she was serving, which normally is a good thing. In fact, it's commended. Jesus even says we're supposed to be servants. But in this situation, it was different. And when she came to Jesus, he basically says, "You're anxious and troubled about many things." In other words, she was complaining a little bit at this point in time. So what was Mary doing? Sitting at the Lord's feet and listening to his teaching. She was developing the relationship with Jesus more. Jesus had plenty of ability to make the food that if he wanted to or needed to. So, but anyway, the Lord's assessment on this situation is Mary had chosen wisely, and Martha needed to chill out a little bit. But it's all about the relationship. A practical way to press into that relationship is with a daily quiet time. And I don't know about you, but I've been having quiet times for a few years since I've been a Christian. And to know God is essential to spend time with Him. And a little booklet that we had with the Navigators, it's called 7 Minutes with God. It's hard to get these things to go with the camera. But anyway, 7 minutes with God, it's a foolproof way that you can develop a relationship with God if you're willing to try it. 7 minutes a day. And the way they set it up is a half a minute prayer asking God to enlighten you, 4 minutes reading the Bible, some passage, and 2.5 minutes praying over what you learned. Fairly simple. And if you do that for 7 minutes, the next day you're probably going to want to spend more, and you're going to want to spend more and spend more. So you think about what the content of the quiet time is or what it's going to look like every day. It's not going to be the same. I had a friend of mine one time when we were talking about quiet times. He says, well, sometimes my quiet time is like a McDonald's hamburger, and sometimes it's like a filet mignon. They're both going to keep you alive, but just a little bit different. One's real expensive and one's not. So when you're thinking about a quiet time, how much time is enough? Is it 7 minutes? 2 hours? Depends on what you need. I can spend as much time as I need, but I just need to focus on hearing what he wants me to learn that day. And so I spend time in the Word. It doesn't really matter. I can go for 10 minutes and I can go for 2 hours. I just want to spend time with the one who loves me. A lot of times when I have my quiet times, I'll sit down, pray, ask God, Psalm 19:18, open my eyes that I may behold wondrous things out of thy law. And then I go and just take the passage that I've got for that day. Sometimes I actually read the passage the night before. But it's usually the passage I'm talking about can be a verse, can be a paragraph, can be a chapter. It doesn't really matter. It just depends on how much time I want to spend. But usually for me, it's a paragraph. I like to keep it to a paragraph. Even when I've been reading in the Psalms lately, it takes me sometimes 2 or 3 days to get through a Psalm with 20 or 30 verses because I just go with the paragraphs. But I like to do 3 things. I analyze it. What is God trying to tell me? I choose the best verse in there. Even if it's one verse, it's obviously going to be the best verse. And then I like to have some type of commitment. What is God trying to do to change my life? Do I need to do something? Is there an application I need to make? But anyway, so I'm trying to figure out what does this passage mean to me? Because you got to understand, the Bible is a story of God creating man falling away, and then God reestablishing that relationship throughout the whole rest of the Bible, and then what's going to happen when history is ended as far as we know it. But it's all about that God, his story and what he's doing. And so I want to figure out every day, okay, God, how do I fit into your story? Not how do you fit into my life? Because I want to be God focused, not me focused. So I do want to challenge you this week, if it's just 7 minutes or if it's a half hour to an hour or 2 hours, try to go 7 for 7. If you really want to get to know the God of this universe, you got to spend time with him. So think about, okay, every day I'm going to get up and figure out what my marching orders are, or just before I go to bed, whatever you prefer. So let's end with Deuteronomy 32, 46, and 47. It says, he said to them, lay to heart all the words which I enjoin upon you this day, that you may command them to your children, that they may be careful to do all the words of this law. For it is no trifle for you, but it is your life. And thereby you shall live long in the land which you are going over the Jordan to possess. Now, I really like that because it says it's not just something you trifle with, it's your life. And he will bless you as a result of it. Well, thanks for listening. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, give me a call. Thanks.